Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor Ferber.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Francis, and welcome to a very special Valentine's Day edition of Undressed. Now, first of all, I want to start by saying, well, Taylor, you look lovely today.
Thanks. I
And
mean, I would say the same, except I feel like this is false advertising because I
happy
I was
Valentine's Day, by the way.
I mean, happy Valentine's Day to you too, I guess, but I just feel like I've been duped because I was expecting you with like a Chippendales outfit, a rose in your mouth. So what is this
Oh,
nonsense?
so
I
I'm
mean,
your Valentine. Is that it? So you're expecting me to be your Valentine without even asking?
isn't
Well,
that
see,
all women?
you were expecting that from me without even asking. And I don't see no ring on this finger. So
It
why don't you explain that to
is
us?
it
What does
is the
that mean?
male duty at this point in time in 2025 to read our minds. Didn't you know? Did you miss the memo? Listen, we all know that Valentine's Day is a Hallmark commercial holiday, right, at its finest. But we are going to blow their minds and show how the diamond, how Valentine's Day, even all of it, marriage, monogamy, what, like, is it all just one big psyop?
You said Hallmark holiday, all right?
That's
I
right.
think more like this is a De Beers holiday. And, De Beers, they're a global cartel and they own the diamond monopoly. And they have basically invented what is called the diamond invention. Diamonds can be made better quality and equal quality in a laboratory and in 6 weeks and sold for 90% cheaper, and not even a professional under any type of microscope known to mankind can tell the difference. So why are men still paying for these large engagement rings, Taylor?
It's a J-Lo effect. Like the bigger the ring, the more extravagant. People are doing all this
Right.
over the top shit with
Yeah.
weddings and all this. And I'm like, what do you have to prove? That's why, whether it's my jewelry, I'm like, I don't need all this flashy shit. I know what's going on up here. Same thing with the relationship. I'm like,
And
I
it's
don't
so,
need all this because I know what's going on.
yeah, and it's
So
interesting you bring that up because the studies have shown, especially in the last few weeks, studies have come out saying that the more you spend on the ring, the more likely the relationship is to fail.
that's right.
And
The
the
J-Lo
more you
effect.
spend on the more you spend on the wedding, the more likely the relationship is to
I'm
fail. And I have personal
saying,
experience. So I understand that.
tell us more, Joe. Also, do guys want, say all goes to shit? Is it kosher and expected? I'm a good little Jew girl, so I need to know what is kosher to give the ring back.
Well, look, I think the ring, whatever we're going to talk about that in like whatever that should be at this point, because I definitely, after knowing what we know, it would not be the right decision, I don't think, for anybody to purchase something that doesn't have value, right? As a
Like that is
symbol of
just not
love,
a
right?
smart move,
It's not
right?
a
That
smart
too.
move, right? It's just not a smart investment for the girl or the guy, man or the woman. I got to speak in both for both of us,
You
right? It
forgot the
just wouldn't
days
be a
and the
smart.
thems. You
Now I
forgot the
do have,
days and the thems.
yeah, but
So,
I do have another idea that I want to run by you. But
yes.
yeah, like, look, I had a situation and I spent a lot. I didn't have a wedding, but it was a civil union, and I spent over $1 million on it. And I spent a fortune on this ring, and the thing lasted for 3 weeks, right? And didn't get the ring back. And to me, it's not a gift, right? I wouldn't expect girls to give gifts back to me because it's a like this is our symbol moving forward, right? I mean, yeah, it's a gift once you go through with the wedding, right? But if you break up right away, I think it's something that you give back, but it doesn't matter anyways because, try to sell a diamond, right? They're worthless.
I
So
was just gonna say, I guess joke is on this person because have you ever heard of somebody getting anything from, like, maybe a
well,
piece
but
of
they,
gum from
I
selling a
mean,
diamond? Like, I don't.
this bitch kept the ring just
This
to piss
bitch.
me off, right? Do you know what I'm saying? It was just like
Was it though? I don't
it's
know.
like a
Three
token of,
weeks. That seems like a scam on De Beers level. I'm just saying. Like only 3 weeks, and then you're keeping the rock. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
no, I know. Well, now, Taylor, what would you do? I mean, what would you do in the reverse situation? Like, would give it
I
back?
would
Do you
I
give
would
back the ring or do you keep it?
in I am a woman of my word. I am consistent. I would give it back. Also, if things went sour,
Oh,
why
come
do I even
on.
want that?
Wait,
Why do I
really?
what am I going to reminisce? Oh, yay, all the times we argued. Like, what the fuck am I going to do with that? I mean, honestly, but I should
Really?
say
You're
not
give the
all
back.
not all women are as noble as I, Joe. I mean, what can I say, right? I mean, you said you watched the documentary with somebody, and even after learning all this, they're like,
I watched it
I
with a
still want a
girl.
real,
Okay,
yeah,
I watched it with a
I still
girl,
want a
and I
real
watched
diamond
the
though.
Netflix. But after watching it, like you said, with a woman, I watched the whole thing, and she goes, "Oh, at the end, so diamonds have no value." And then turn it
Literally,
off, talk about something for 5 seconds, and then she goes, "But I'm like,
I still
oh,
want one.
that certainly." She goes, "But I would still want a diamond," and I'm like, well,
Oops.
but the whole point is, what's a diamond? I mean, the
No,
FCC
literally,
calls a diamond
it's like
like a piece of
arbitrary.
carbon, a polished piece of carbon. Like what? That's the definition. What is,
I
what is a diamond?
listen, I get the idea of like having something, it's like witches with their crystals, like having something from the earth
You're
and like,
okay. I'll tell her you called her a witch.
that's fine. That's fine. I'll see her at the
She's a
seance
witch.
later so we can get you to get her some like ring that's of no value. But every woman is different. I've even thought about this. I have a boyfriend and he's very creative, right? I'm more sentimental, but like in bounds. So there was one point when he was like, I want to let me just surprise you. It's my thing proposing, and I'm the one and knowing him, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be some weird blue shit, like the blue of your eye. I'm like, listen, buddy,
But
we
that's
gotta
more
have
valuable,
some
Taylor. That's more valuable. The blue, like the blue sapphire.
the blue is
There are
actually more
three. There
valuable.
are three more valuable gems. In doing our research for this show, there are three more valuable gems. So that blue and the green sapphire, those are all more valuable than and rarer than the actual diamond in nature. Now they all can be lab created and lab grown, but I mean that's not a bad idea
I
for your
just
boyfriend.
feel like, listen, I love the sentimental value. Obviously, I'm personally not a big jewelry diamonds girl myself. However, that creative liberty only goes so far because
Yeah.
I have to wear it every day, bitch. Okay. So I have to have some say. And I will say, in defense of your witch friend and this documentary, is that having a lab grown synthetic, you will sort of like always look at it and wonder. You'll be like, oh, but this is like fake
All
news.
right.
Like this is the
No.
McDonald's, and I could have had. I mean, I'm just
Let me
saying
let you in on a little
the
secret.
psyop will psyop. It'll do
All
that.
right. Well, I'll tell you. My friend Kim Kardashian was robbed in Paris. So, and she called me right after that robbery, and we especially bonded over it because I had been robbed from my Picasso collection and held at gunpoint, and she was frazzled. I mean, I'd never seen her like that in her whole life, and I've known her forever. And she changed everything that she did. And at that point, she and her insurance company no longer allowed her to wear real jewelry. So, and I remember even my mom's wedding ring, she did the same thing. So everyone who has a very, very expensive set of jewelry has to have it copied anyways with lab grown diamonds. And those are the ones that the insurance company allows you to wear. They don't allow you, they have to go, if you own that type of jewelry, and I know people that do and have, and the insurance policies are such that they have to be kept in a safe, they're going to be covered, they have to be completely copied, and they're copied for like 10 grand, and they're perfect copies, and they keep the other in a safety deposit box, and that's the policy. They're not allowed to wear the actual one. So
It's
that's Hollywood, people. It's fake.
it's
So don't believe
crazy.
it.
Well, true. It's crazy that you bring that story up because I saw something the other day that it was yet another psyop and that the whole thing was staged. Literally, I just saw it like yesterday. So Mark Zuckerberg AI is in our brains, I guess, for seeing this. But
Wow.
you're saying what happened.
What happened, and I can tell you I was on the phone with her that morning. So
That's
what happened happened.
crazy. Like
What
the
happened
making
happened.
of your fake
I
diamond,
mean, I can
people.
show you her text messages
That's
from that
crazy.
night and when everything was happening, because who do you call first? You call
Your
someone who you
bestie, Joe.
trust.
Your
Well, also
bestie,
someone who knows how to handle these situations. She's
yeah,
frazzled.
that's
And
crazy.
yeah, it was.
Well, oh, go ahead,
But
Joe.
okay, but all right. So you're
I
setting
was
yourself up. So like we're getting off here, but you're setting
so
yourself up for disaster, right? By having one of these things anyways out there, right?
Well,
And advertising it on social media.
that remains. Yeah, I think that. Don't you agree though? I mean, I don't know if it hits you the
Yeah,
same
of
way as
course
a
I agree
dude,
with
but
you.
as a woman, I'm like, what are you trying to hide? Like, what exactly? But this show, everybody, is just like a diamond. You know, it starts like that and just gets bigger and bigger, and maybe in the end, it'll leave you feeling a type of way, okay, and satisfied. But you know, the diamond set the stage of how everything has just been kind of sold to us and reinforced, which is actually so scary. Like, again, I even thought about it myself and being like, oh, fuck. Like, I thought this was a tradition, the tale as old as time. And little did I know Marilyn Monroe and the diamonds are like, this was just a good advertisement, basically from the 50s.
The
But
best. It worked
yes.
because it's still
Yes,
ingrained
it did. That's what I'm saying.
in your mind today. And you
Yes.
said something, okay,
Diamonds are forever.
in the witch's defense, to use your word, in the witch's defense. Also, okay, a woman, no, you can't explain this to everybody. You can't explain this to all your friends and your mom and your grandmother. So they're going to want to see something on your ring, on your finger, from whatever guy you're talking about. So you have to come up with something, because you're not going to be able to explain this away. You know,
here's the truth. There's pressure on you, the men. There's pressure on us, the women. And who orchestrated this concoction but the warlock himself, De Beers. And that is the story of that. And look, we even literally Oppenheimer, De Beers. Now, bigger picture, Valentine's Day itself, right? Because you have people in a relationship, same thing, the pressure, or you have the singles who feel like shit. So let's unpack this scam as well, because this is another thing, Joe. I'm not going to lie. I was in Target the other day. I saw the Valentine card collection and I'm like, I know, you know, as an educated woman in 2025, that this is again, commercialism, consumerism at its finest. Like capitalism knows no bounds. Yet my boyfriend said to me, Taylor, I got 3 Valentine's cards. I just couldn't pick one, and I'm going to spread them out and give one a day leading up to it. And I was like, oh my God, who's profiting besides my brain? Hallmark. So I'm just saying, Joe, this shit actually works. And for you, a guy, like, break it down for me, whether it's like taking them out to dinner, now I'll also say, because obviously I don't like anything that's like cheesy, the chocolates, the flowers, like the Snoopy little heart thing, like save all that shit. Okay. Save it for Salvation Army. I don't want it. I'm just saying. But what for you as a guy, or is it all just crap? Is it all just crap?
I mean, the thing is it's like you said, it's like, what is it for a guy? Because everything you mentioned, you didn't mention one gift and for the guy. Oops. What do we get out of this holiday?
It's my bad. Like, a blowjob. Okay.
Santa Claus. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. There you go. So it's prostitution.
Men and women, everyone has their
rights. It's prostitution. Okay. So now you're taking Valentine's Day and delineating it down to prostitution. Okay. All right. So I give you roses, you give me a blowjob. I get it. Okay. It's quick.
Okay, Mr. Equality Feminist. What's an appropriate? What is it? Because I don't want to pimp you out or myself or whoever for that matter.
I don't know, Taylor. I've never received.
What's a proper? Well, tell us. What's a perfect gift?
I'm stumped because I've never received one. So now I feel left out. But of this conversation, I'm completely on the outside of this conversation. But I will tell you gifts that I have given other people. And I like to give flowers. I am very particular about giving flowers. I give flowers the best way. I make a certain stem. I plan my own arrangements. I like
by arrangement, you mean American Beauty, where you're in a bathtub. Let's be honest, okay? We all know your own marketing.
No, I sit on the phone with the flower. I'm a very good gift giver because I'm a very individual gift giver.
2 things. One is I'm just going to have to take your word for it. You know, we've been talking about and prepping for this episode, and, you know, Mr. Gift Giver here himself, you know, hasn't sent me anything. I could have given a personal, you know, testimonial.
I didn't get the blowjob.
There's always
which comes first, the blowjob or the
the blowjob or the
the gift. You didn't say which comes first.
That is a chicken or the egg predicament. That is a chicken or the egg. That's an Adam and Eve. If we could dial back to Adam.
Oh, you're so full of shit. That's not a chicken or egg.
I'll say this. Well, if we're going traditional, it is technically the man's role to be more like assertive and take charge. So he therefore gives the ring, the women in gratitude. Oh, and there comes the blowjob, and everybody's happy. And a traditional male and female roles, MAGA is happy with that. You know,
the question. Have you
yeah.
ever given up the blowjob before the gift?
I don't have it as like
Never.
attached to a gift.
Never. It's always quid pro quo, which is Latin for like, you know, tit for tat. It is.
Did you learn that at USC? We want to know.
I actually did.
I actually did. Okay. But anyways, look, I give them out of the selfless gratitude, you know, of my heart, not to expect anything in return. You know, so that's just like how I personally roll. So, you know, it's hard to say, but I will say I actually was here for your long-term vision of said gift. Like in a perfect world for me, it's really, again, not the flashiness of it all. I used to be like that. I used to have the J-Lo effect sunk into my head of like, I need this big, what's the rectangle one? I forget. Whatever. I used to want the bigger, this thing. I wanted it to look vintage or like this, be at the plaza, all this shit. Now I'm like, listen, I would be happy with something more sentimental, even if it's like an heirloom from my grandparents, you know, modernize and elope. Like I'm good. Like the more intimate, the better. Again, I ain't got nothing to prove, you know, just like my blowjobs. So
well, you do have to prove those, right? Like we're not gonna take your word for it. We've heard that before, right, guys?
Same with you with your gifts.
We've
so
all, okay, Taylor. We've all heard your bullshit before.
But Joe, does it give you male pride? Because this whole thing, right, is like, do we even need something to symbolize love? And does it give you, even though like men are simple, I get it and I appreciate that about men. It's like, I got a blowjob and I'm happy, you know, but also men want to take care of women. So does it give you pride to be like, no, I did something nice to symbolize or to do this for her or whatever? Or is it really just for her?
That's a great question. And that's a great question. And I think we all really need to re-ask ourselves that question based on the new information that we have now. We're smart people. Let's take this new information as smart people, digest it, and come up with new ways to express our love. I would rather give a girl a gold bar than a wedding ring because I know that gold bar is going to go up over time in value. I mean, it has a real value on a market or Bitcoin or anything. I know. So
this is so male brain.
What did he get me?
He's like, but the utility, this is an investment to remember. She's sitting there with her tits in her hand, like, what the fuck am I going to do with that? No, but did you see the stock market? No, but that
is how much 100,000 in Bitcoin is worth. It's probably worth 150,000.
She's like, thanks, babe. Just what I wanted.
I know. She'd just be like, where can I cash that out? And then go buy her own stuff. I mean, probably. I think I'd be like, 10 years later, what happened to your investment? Oh my God, it's got to be worth like $10 million now. And then she would probably tell me, oh, I spent that. You didn't see all those bags I got? That's Chanel bags.
Here's the, no, exactly. Well,
9 years ago.
Here's the thing. I feel like couples are all so different, right? I personally like, again, the sentimental, like the here and now, the carpe diem, which I'm sure you learned what that is at USC, but experiences and like things or sweet photo albums or written notes. But then you have some couples who are more about the material stuff, right? Like or even if you have a guy who's a little more metro, he might like a new belt or shoes or whatever the hell, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
men
I don't
hate that shit. Guys, do not buy. Let me just say, ladies, please. Do not buy man cologne, please.
Oh God, do people still do that? That's like the 90s.
My mom did, but hopefully she's not watching. But I mean, because I did buy it for her birthday, but that's my mom, and you know she wanted it. But yeah, guys, generally, we're not the same, and what you think we want is. We just probably want dinner and a blowjob and we're good. Like, you know, we're good. And, you know, we're prepared to buy you guys anything to buy us that night. So, you know, I would think those are the best gifts, right? But yeah, ask your man. I think communication, Taylor, is important too, because everyone is different. You know, the only person that seems to generalize women is this Andrew Tate guy, but God, I wonder what his Valentine's Day is going to be like.
No, can you
There's not a
imagine?
There's what?
Can you imagine?
Oh my God. There's no love in that house.
Look, we're not these monsters. Like we both are like, look, do it the nice and right way
Oh,
that
no,
shows
no, no,
love
no.
for
We're
the person.
monsters.
I think that we're, yeah, no, that, okay, we are. Fuck. You blew our cover, whatever. I was
Okay,
trying
all
to,
right.
but all that to say, I feel like we
What do you mean do
have,
it the right way, Taylor? What do you mean?
I'm
I
saying,
don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean do it the
we're
right
not just bah humbug. Like all of this is shit. Don't give the person anything. We're saying, when I say the right way, I
Totally.
mean, maybe it's not a worthless, devalued diamond, but something that is actually of sentiment, or in your case, a great Bitcoin investment, but that actually means something. And so that's what we're saying here. And, you know,
of value. I'm just
yes,
trying to say, like, this is a symbol of my love. It is a perfect diamond. It has a platinum band, and it is however many carats you want because it was grown in a lab. I mean, you could have the goddamn like stone of you could have a mountain on your finger. Like, it doesn't matter because you can buy that. And then you have something of real value that you're showing you're investing in our relationship and our love, not that here's this rock that you can't sell when stuff goes bad, you know, whatever, you know.
well, when stuff goes bad, well, with maybe in 3 weeks time, I mean, who knows? But
in my situation, yes,
it did not happen. Okay.
That
This is
happened.
based on a true story. But you talk about you
it
talk
is.
about, you know, the movie Dinner
right.
and a Blowjob, right? And it's like, again, kind of bought into
I
these
did
roles.
get the blowjob though, just for the record.
Good
I
thing.
got the blowjob.
Oh,
Sorry
thank
to
God.
interrupt you, but I got the blowjob.
That's very important. We were all on the edge of our seat. We were all on the edge of our seat for that one. But think about it, Joe. It's sort of with all of this, even the diamond, it's sort of like what it represents. And these bigger roles, are we just again bought in? Again, even like the blowjob and the dinner in the movie personified. So when you think about it, let's take it even bigger, okay? Even marriage. Do guys really want marriage, or even like monogamy? Women, same thing? Or are we all just bought into the roles that are, again, respectively, the blowjob and the dinner? Like, are we all just buying into what we've been told?
Well, for sure, because marriage is created by government, and marriage is created,
and the church,
you know, yeah, and the church, and marriage is created to institutionalize you and control you. Of course, like, look, I think personally that, I mean, if I were to ever like be married, I would be secretly married, because I would never want to be publicly like married, just because it's like, it puts additional pressures. I think when women think that they're married, then their mind all of a sudden changes. Oh, I'm married now. Now I can do whatever I want. Now I can like, and that's what literally happened to my 3-week relationship. It's like the minute that the ceremony happened, and it wasn't a marriage, it was a civil union. And I can explain that in a later show, but it, you know, it just instantly, boom, changed. And it was like, well, that shouldn't change anything. That one event, that one day, that one ring, that one, it should be exactly the same as it was on Saturdays. It's going to be on Sundays. It's going to be on Monday. But for some reason, and you see this so much, is, you know, I saw it with my friend Mario Lopez and his first wedding that lasted less than mine, probably 2 weeks. And it was just, you know, if it's not working, or it's not working going into it, get out right away. And I think by getting married, and like you said in the beginning, spending all this money on the ring, spending all this effort on planning the wedding, and then all of this extra time and effort on doing this in front of your friends, it creates all these additional pressures that you don't need, because relationships in general are hard enough. So I just think if people are good together, then to give somebody that, oh, we're married, so you can't do this, or you're trapped, or whatever, I just think it puts an additional thing that you don't need. I mean, and what do you think?
This view may be popular with some of the ladies and some men. We will see. I completely agree. And it's not even like a matter of agreeing.
I want to know. Do you want the big wedding? Like, what is in your mind? Because every girl I know,
I used to, like I said, I used to. I used to be that person.
Okay. And like, most girls have been planning their wedding since they were like 5 years old, right?
Yes.
Is that true? Most of your friends.
I mean, again, this is generalizing. I wasn't really that person. I'm a girly girl, but not in that way. Obviously, like the jewelry and all that personified, right? I used to be that person that was like I said, but again, I have like my big fat Italian wedding. So when you say big wedding,
and then what
yes.
happened 3 months ago where you changed?
I'll tell you. It's exactly. Wow. Wow. No, okay. If we're going to go into the timeline, you should know this with your research expertise. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
so
I'm your research assistant. Thank you.
So, no, exactly. Demoted to PA research assistant.
Thank you. Thank you.
If
You're
I'm
putting
thinking
me just below Chat GPT now on your list of friends.
No, exactly. But it's still held in high regard. So like, don't take it too personally, you know, but
I mean,
if I'm being honest,
yeah,
I feel like maybe after college, you know, maybe in my mid-20s, and I'll tell you why. Because all of this fuckery, like I said, that we're seeing with everybody going so far over the top makes me want to go the other way. Yeah. I'm like, what are all of you proving? Again, I'm torn because I do have a huge family and I would want them there and all of that to celebrate the love. But there's also something about eloping that is so counterculture that is like, it's just about us and our love and the intimacy. And like, I think there's something really beautiful in that. So, you know, but when it comes to marriage itself, I have some thoughts.
Okay.
That I was going to say before.
I agree with you on the eloping, but I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear, but I mean, so you're saying elope and get married or elope and have a wedding like I was talking about or what? I just want to know exactly what you think.
I feel like I'm conflicted. I would want everyone there for the main.
Obviously, if you feel like you're conflicted, you are conflicted. Maybe I should take over from here.
Exactly. Actually, plot twist. Taylor is the new PA.
You're lying.
No,
okay.
I am.
You are.
It's called nuance. It's called nuance, Joe, which I think that they teach at USC. As well. Your mic couldn't handle the nuance. See, okay, here's the thing. Number one is I would want everybody there. Yes. Also in a dream world, I feel like we would elope and then have like come back and at a later date have like a banging party. The pressure's off and it's just fun. But then the family's bent out of shape.
I love
they're not there.
Too, and my daughter did. That was a great movie.
Frozen 2 took the copyright from my marriage plans.
For a second. Sounds like you were talking about Frozen. But were you talking about Aladdin? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. All I know is it is going to be the magic carpet ride of our dreams, okay? Because I'm not going to fall to the bullshit of what society has told us to do and everyone just trying to outdo each other. And guess what? None of you fuckers are happy anyway because everybody's getting divorced left, right, sideways, and unhappy and cheating. So who's really winning?
And and who's winning? Because every one of these
My boobs are with you grazing them, by the way, right now. Yeah.
So are they really? Can I grade?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. They said
is dead.
They said it's cool just this time.
Well, if you it's about express consent. So if you consent to me touching your boobs, I will. Yeah. If not, then I will not touch your boobs.
They said in the spirit of Valentine's Day, it's okay today.
Oh, okay. Well, you would have to be my Valentine's, and
we still haven't determined that. Maybe we should put it up to the audience. Maybe we should put it up to them if we're each other's Valentines or not. You know, because I feel like that remains to be seen. Give voice to the people.
It's not. Because everything else is up to the people. This
is like stop the steal. Democracy ends here.
Up to you and I. We make that decision. Okay. And plus, I don't trust your polling on Instagram. Okay.
Wow.
Like, it's like Trump polling. It's like 95% of people agree. Okay.
No,
Gulf of America. Sure. We'll go with that.
I won't let you stop the steal.
Sounds great. Polling. Not making pennies.
I won't. Right. Here's what I think though. Okay. Are you ready for my take on marriage? While I agree
I mean, which one is it going to be? Because you said you were conflicted. So
I'm not getting married tomorrow. Is there a gun to my head?
I know you thought about it because you've been planning the wedding since you were 5. So how has that wedding changed, Taylor? That's what we need to know. How has that wedding changed?
I told you.
Well, when you were 25,
I wasn't planning since I was 5. Speaking of the J-Lo effect, this isn't the wedding planner. Like I definitely was not planning it since I was 5. Maybe like I started thinking about it in college or something. But doesn't this again speak to the difference of men and women? Name for me a man Okay, besides Queer Eye for the Straight Guy that is even thinking of a glimmer in their head of their wedding, actually at any point in time. I'm just saying.
Nope.
But yeah, he's
Yeah,
like, cannot confirm. Cannot
I don't know.
confirm.
I have never been in a conversation with a man who has had that conversation. Like, oh, I want to talk about my wedding. No, never had that.
I'm just saying.
No.
But
Yeah.
I
No,
think
you're
here's
right,
the thing.
though. You're right.
Here's the
I've
thing.
never had that conversation with another man.
While factually, this
Even a
is
gay
an
man.
I'm saying, while factually, they were having too much fun over at the YMCA to be concerned about this shit. No, but as far as marriage being an institution that 100% was set up by church, state, all of that to control us, right?
Yeah.
That actually is like fact. That's not even debatable.
Yes.
But I will say, I feel like there is something, regardless of divorce rate, all this, that is primal in men's attitude and women's attitude, right? Even men, let's be real, on a primal level, no man really wants to be monogamous because of their primal instinct to create and spread their seed and survival. Procreate. And whereas with women, I could see why marriage and the security has now translated through all these years and why we feel it on a primal level, because it is that sort of like, take care of us, like the foundation, the security, like, okay, we're locked in and we're good and locked and loaded. So I'm just saying, like, the cavemen, they knew what was up. They knew what was up. And now it sort of trickles into marriage and attitudes toward it, I think.
I mean, men want to procreate. But men, when they find the right woman and they want to settle down, they do believe in this. I know lots of men that believe in this life of monogamy, and like, I settled down. I had 2 kids. I wanted that life. Now, just cracks me up is these people that just get married over and over and over again. They go in front of all their friends and family, and they profess how much they love, and then they look at these people in the eye. I mean, I've been in rows laughing, people laughing, like literally at the groom, because they're saying, and this is like the 3rd time this guy has got married and said the same line, that I will love you till death do us part, and all this crap. And it's just like, come on. At least if you're going to do it 2 and 3 times, just do it by yourselves. Like, don't do it in front of everybody again.
Don't drag us into the
mess. Don't drag us into your lies. Like, it's a joke. Like, we know you, like,
yeah, but it's like people giving every step that their baby makes on Instagram. I'm like, I get it, Betty. Your kid potty trained today. Like, holy shit, can you keep me out of this narrative? So that's also like the shamelessness of what people do. And so you're basically saying that it's man to man and it's sort of case by case. Because I want to know the nitty gritty, Joe, from you. Like, you're the everyman. Do dudes really want weddings? Do they really want monogamy? Do they really want marriage?
Okay. You know what they want? And the answer is yes, but with a big caveat. And that caveat is, you know why? Because we want you to be happy. Every man wants his woman to be one thing, and that's happy, because every man knows if his woman is not happy, what his life is going to be like. And that's
wow. So in the end, it's really just self-serving because they don't want their lives to be a living hell. That is something. Also not out of the goodness of your heart.
Providing.
Yes.
I mean, look, who Taylor as a man, well, other than Andrew Tate, doesn't want to make a woman like happy? That's a great feeling for a guy, right? That's, we want to make you happy, right? And it's not only self, I'm joking a lot, because it's not only self. I mean, yeah, like,
no, I get it. I get
80% is self.
And wow.
Self-preservation.
Like, here's my pie chart, and so really,
but the other part is we want to make you happy. We want to provide for you. We want, a real man wants to provide for his woman, wants them to be happy, and whatever gift is going to make you happy at that time is great.
And I'll be honest, this is where, at least for me, and even myself, millennial women have lost the plot. And this is a whole other show for another day, but we've so been in this mode, and we've been, again, a psyop brainwash of like, grow to the men, right? Grow a pair, grow up, my way or the highway. I get what I want, too bad, suck it up, criticizing, controlling the men. And beating down what on a primal level makes you guys feel good. So it's the equivalent of like, say you do something really nice and then we criticize or critique it. And it's like, wait, you got the salad, but you forgot to get the croutons on the side, you asshole. It's like, oh my God, we have literally chopped guys off by the balls. And so that's even a reckoning I've had of late, but we can pin that for another time. I want to talk a little bit.
You're absolutely right with that. I have to say, you're absolutely right with that.
And I want to talk a little bit before we wrap here about the monogamy issue, because
why are you looking at me? Are you looking at me because you're like,
I'm just looking to the general public, because it seems like, again, we have been sort of bought in, and it's like the tale of two worlds right now, because you have, even say politically, you have the left who's like sister wives, polygamous, all this weird shit, no children, be barren. And then you have the right that wants us to be Brady Bunch, Little House on the Prairie. But I feel like it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess expressed in the monogamy era right now. What do you think?
It is a hot mess. But are you okay? I have to ask you a question to answer this question. I mean,
ask away.
To even comment, because I want to know if you're talking about monogamy as it relates to marriage, or monogamy as, hey, we're going to be exclusive boyfriend and girlfriend.
Probably both, but marriage is where it really is like,
okay,
that
all right.
is
so you're talking about
seal the deal.
You think marriage is to seal the deal? Oh my
God.
Oh,
he's like, you're so innocent. It's like, I've never been engaged or married.
Oh my God. Clear. You're like Napoleon. Oh my God. They seal the deal. Kill him.
Exactly.
God.
I am Italian, so
on second
may or may not have mob roots. Okay.
I withdraw my name from consideration to be your Valentine.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it will probably end up in death. Or
I just watched The Godfather, so
oh no,
I'll just call my family my people straight out of Sicily. So
there's a dead
I'm actually
dog
not
in
kidding.
My bed right now. Oh my God. Okay, so to answer your question, all right.
2 of them.
Oh yeah, I know. And a bunny boiling in my kitchen
with your fresh flowers all chopped up all over that. No.
With like "fuck you" written in rose petals on my kitchen counter.
Happy Valentine's Day. You fucked with the wrong PA, Joe, on this show. No.
and lipstick, "fuck you" in the mirror, and the whole thing. I'm sure we've all had it. Okay.
Yes.
But to answer your question, yes, it's dead for a reason, because I think, and I know the younger generation, and sadly, they are smarter than us because they have more access to information. They not only have more access to information, they have social media, and they can research those things. They have artificial intelligence, and they can research those things that artificial intelligence spits out, and they can educate themselves about statistics, about how marriages fail, and they can make informed decisions. And that these informed decisions and why it's dying is they see over and over it doesn't work out, or they see their parents don't work out. So most couples in the United States currently, the living situation that is most common is called cohabitation. And that is the one that I described earlier that works, because if you're cohabitating, you're essentially living like you're married, but you're not under the state or the church, which you described to be the harmful effects. And that's what younger people do now. If they live, they cohabitate. They don't necessarily run down to the church and get married, or run down to the thing and get married. Look, everybody, like most people I know are divorced who got married. I mean, how many people do you know that have really lasted, and that from college or whatever, or younger, that have lasted? I mean, maybe I know like 1 or 2 people. That's it. And that's it.
And that is it. And we will get them on the show as the last patient 1 and 2 of marriage. So, no, literally. But I think it's, again, I don't know. I think that we're all bought into these boxes, and people have a really hard time grappling with it, because your friends, or the lack thereof, who cannot keep it going. It's like, this is what I should do. This is what I have to do. This is the morally right thing to do. But at the end of the day, and behind closed doors, they're so unhappy, or they're antsy, or they're unsatisfied. So even the monogamy thing, look, I'm not advocating for it to be like Woodstock 60s and bring back AIDS and everyone's like, woo-hoo, like, let's just swing from chandeliers. But I do think that there is power in, with a partner, consensually, you know, in a way that feels comfortable, stepping outside of those boxes and exploring whatever makes you the most fulfilled and, you know, tapping into all that life has to offer, so to speak.
Yes, I
I
agree
think
with you.
we're so blindsided.
But you said a critical word there, a very operative, important thing about what you said. And you used a word, the word partner. And it has to be a partnership, right? So the other person, if you're going to enter a partnership, has to bring value, right? So as a guy, you have to look at a woman and say, what value does this woman bring into my life, right? Does she bring 50% value because she's going to take 50% of my stuff? You know, does she bring 20% value? Does she bring 0% value? You know, I'm just saying, and women make the same calculated determination of partnership, just like a business partnership, right? We're talking about the same thing here, right? And look, I didn't always think like that. And I think that is the way you need to think when approaching this, because why are you entering into a financial transaction and a partnership with anyone who is not going to, number one, make you the best person you could possibly be, which you said, you know, which some, you know, absolutely, to have a cheerleader, to have a confidant, to have a best friend, all those things, we all desire the same things, Taylor. Men, women, everybody wants to be in love. Everybody wants to get along. I don't think there's anybody out there who doesn't really, truly want what we're talking about.
That's true.
But there's a whole nother reality that a partnership has, and it goes much deeper and much bigger. And, you know, in what I say is like, look, if our God, or whatever you believe, if our all-knowing, all-loving, benevolent, self-actualized creator that created all of this to its ultimate perfection, you more than me, of course, you look, you know, but I also, my mental, God is a creator, so it's a female, right? I think, or androgynous, but whatever you believe, it doesn't matter. It still made everything so perfect in the world and so perfect in the universe, but it still has a sense of humor.
That's right.
It had to make men and women completely incompatible. And that's the issue, because we are completely, God could have made men and women the most compatible things in the whole world and just hug and love and laugh the whole day and just strip the anger or whatever right out of it. But you know what? God has a sense of humor. So here we are.
It seems
talking
so.
about this shit.
men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And also the plot twist in all of this is that we've been ragging on woke ideology, and it's like only to find out the creator is non-binary. So no, but who pulled this one on all of us?
I didn't say non-binary. I said androgynous. And androgynous because look, I think women are conceivers. Okay, because women are conceivers.
The universe creator is an androgynous like Starbucks barista with a beanie.
Well, why not? But okay, hear me out though. Okay, are women? You guys are creators, right? You're.
God is a woman, as Ariana.
I mean, where do babies come from?
That's right.
I don't know. It's 2025, but Trump's back in office, so where do they come from?
Wow,
there's one answer. Now there's one answer.
No, exactly. Now it's actually the law. No, that is one answer.
Now it's the law. You can only answer. But what is the answer? What's the answer?
Right here, the woman.
Yes, two vaginas. So.
Oh, he's like, we're gonna get clinical about this, okay?
No, but you're conceivers. Men aren't conceivers. So, and also, like, I mean, anything that was gonna design something. I mean, we get like 1 or 2 orgasms, and you guys get as many as you want all in a row. Like, come on, like, it's definitely a check, guys.
Wait.
Women have multiple orgasms, and guys get like 1 or 2.
Name for me one. Okay, forget the 2. Patient 1 and 0 of the marriage. I need to find a woman who orgasms time after time after time. You talk about men and women coming from 2 different planets. Men can like touch a woman's tit, and it's like women were like, we have to do mathematics, equations, all of these mental gymnastics. And then I'm like, maybe we felt kind of something down there. I don't know, maybe. So you talk about coming from 2 different planets, literally coming from 2 different planets. But regardless, what is that? I mean, that is kind of a way to, but before we give our final thoughts and what you said of like, what a sick sense of humor that we're so different and we're meant to harmoniously coexist. So what is it to just like one big trick or life lesson to, like, in karma or reincarnation or something, to learn and to go through these obstacles and learn how to coexist and go through our own struggles to coexist with the other sex.
You're saying for us as its growth as humans, or for our
Yes.
benevolent creators entertainment? Because I think our
Both.
benevolent are
Both.
both. Okay. So on the benevolent God, all-knowing, all-loving, self-actualized, our creator, whatever that may be, we don't understand it, of course. That mofo is just trying to create the Real Housewives of Atlanta down here and just entertaining the shit out of him or herself. Like, wow. Because
I have to believe, okay, I'll be the spiritual Buddha Michael Singer here. I have to believe, you know what they say. It's like, I believe in this, right? Not to get too spiritual, but it's like you level up in each reincarnation, whatever. Maybe it is a lesson for us to get past our shit and grow and get past our own hangups and values and boxes or whatever it is and struggles to be able to give our partners, the other sex, whatever, and harmoniously coexist and to give them what they need. I'm just saying, maybe it is all for something in the end after all.
Yeah, but we're not going to find out about that now. And that's the problem. So I don't want to wait till I die to find out.
Joe, go ahead. Just, yeah, exactly. One of us we'll just grab a shower, rod, and report back and tell you guys right now ASAP. No, but I think big picture for me, like big takeaways here, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to all of this, again, the flashy, the diamond, the wedding, even monogamy and exploring things, I feel like, again, you talk about how on a basic level, we all just want that confidant, that foundation, that supporter, that partner. And I feel like at the end of the day, and you and I are both out of the box thinkers, so it doesn't have to look like everything else and everyone else. But at the end of the day, if you two know it is all back to us, it is all right here, like it is us against the world, to me, that's what it's about. I think that is timeless.
You're exactly right. And it's like I said earlier, and I'll repeat it again because I'm not a misogynist, and you know that. And look, and we're all the same. Look, men, women, guys, girls, we're all the same. We all want to be loved, and we all want to find that special person. Everybody is a fragile human being. Everybody has been hurt in the past. Everybody has issues. Everybody's bringing those issues into the relationship. So yeah, like you said, I agree. Maybe this is some sort of test. It definitely is, or entertainment for our creator. But, it is what it is, because that part won't change, because that's who we are as unless, of course, and we can do a whole thing on gay marriage. I don't know, maybe an option for many men. So I'm sure that would work out better. Men don't get divorced from other men, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, that's a statistic.
Because I feel like they're
Google
more
that. It's like 70%.
I talked to Lance Bass about this.
Yeah. Well, the highest percentage of men. Yeah. I mean, Lance Bass did his bachelor party here where I am now with Michael, his husband. But yeah, I mean, we were at that wedding, and I'll tell you that, yeah, they did it for a long time, but in whatever, I don't want to get into people's personal things, but it is what it is. Right. And, Lance and Michael is a great example, because men are like 70% stay together, and like a lesbian couple, for instance, 23% stay together. And it's like men and women are like below, 50%. So it's like the highest rate of people that stay together are men and men. No offense to you, but no, take offense.
Wow. Okay. So much for my whole little oral dissertation of the primal needs of women to be locked down. Turns out we're the fickle bitches that are going here, there, and everywhere.
Fault. Read the stats. Google it.
Women's fault. Women's fault.
Well, come on. Like, okay. So my ex-girlfriend, and this is she would always say to me, and we had I had 2 kids with her, and she would always say to me, because we lived like, we lived monogamous. So like we were married, and she would always say to me, propose and say, let's get married, or I want to get married. And that's when I would like say to her, I go, isn't everything great now? And I would also ask her, I would say, look, if she pressured it, I would say, if you were me, would you marry you? And if so, tell me why.
Oh,
And that always stumped her. See, she can never answer the question. So if she can't answer that question, then I always felt like,
oh shit. That is a psychoanalysis like Freud never saw coming. I want to take to our audience if they would marry us. How's that for holding up a mirror? If the women would marry you and if the dudes would marry me. And from there, we'll go. Listen, my last thoughts on all of this, Joe, is if men and women, it all kind of like coincides, right? If men and women were all the same, first of all, we wouldn't be able to procreate, but also that shit would just be boring. So just like our ideas on all of this, it's sort of that same idea. You don't have to be in the box. It doesn't have to be like anybody else, but you want it to be fulfilling and gratifying at the end of the day and make life what it is. So it doesn't nor should it be like everybody else. It can be outside of the box, and whatever floats your boat all the way to our Valentine's Day celebration over here at Undressed. But right? I mean, why would we all be the same? That would just be boring.
It would be, and that's why I think God has a sense of humor. That was my point. Really, it would be boring. Like if we didn't have all this drama, like life would be too easy, I guess. Right.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But, it's like you guys get mad. We want to make you happy. It's just a cycle, an endless cycle of hell. If, by the way, if you read tomorrow that I was found hanging in my door on Valentine's Day or my kitchen, you know why. It was this episode.
Yeah, exactly. You were really committed to the cause of the research, which honestly, I respect. So I'm going to leave us on a happier note, which is
you left me hopeless, Taylor. That's what happened. Just remember.
Oh, great. I wanted to leave us on another happy ending here, but I think
there won't be a suicide note. I'll just tell you.
This is a suicide note right here, documented assholes.
I'll just put the Undressed in rose petal logo, and then I'll put Taylor.
And then it's like, you know why.
Lipstick.
You know why.
My body will be hanging.
That is a perfect, I think, Valentine's celebration for this show. Maybe you all will go off to get on. Wait, no, the dedication to the show is really what I meant. So
thank you for your promo on the way out.
No,
with your new single host.
Anything. It's actually
next Tuesday.
It's a meta moment.
Next Tuesday, Undressed with your one host, Taylor Verber.
Joe, you want it. You just would one up De Beers. And that's all that you would succeed in this marketing promo. So the marketing actually in the end doesn't die. And I would look at it like that. It's actually it's a happy ending. You really committed.
Is not forever. A diamond
you
is
committed.
Forever.
You committed to the marketing ploy that is the Undressed show. And for that, we will forever be thankful. And you'll be our forever Valentine.
Thank you. And
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
As you said in the beginning, nothing lasts forever. So.
Oh no.
Thanks, Taylor. No, we got to be happy because, okay.
Yes. We have to be happy.
Look, I mean, because we are happy and we are normal people and we do like
we are not sociopaths.
And we make fun and we point out the fun stuff and we point out the facts too. But at the end of the day, like I said, we all want to be loved. We're all going to go out. We're all going to have a good time on Valentine's Day. And now I think everybody has a little direction about how to make it more special.
I think so too.
For their person.
I think so too, with laughter and heart and also meaning. And at the end of the day, hopefully you guys, after listening to Undressed, will get undressed for Valentine's Day. I mean, does it get any better than that?
Have sex and make more babies, people. Please. Let's populate this world. Elon Musk style. Let's go.
Our non-binary creator says so.
Androgynous.
All right, everybody. This is the Undressed show. Thank you for watching. Be sure to follow and share for more.
And also subscribe. And everyone, I think from both of us, happy Valentine's Day #1. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next week.